Hello guys, welcome to Diverse Nutrition Academy Center. Here we teach about food, nutrition and wellness. And whatever we teach you here is evidence-based. Please do not take any of our information here as a treatment. Okay? Make sure to see your doctor or book to see your registered dietitian should you want to see one. Okay. Alright, so in this video I'm going to be discussing the attributes that you need to have to become a successful dietitian. So let me ask you the question. Did you say you wanted to be a dietitian? Okay. If your answer is yes, I encourage you to pursue that dream because it's all worth it. My name is Mercy. If it's your first time in this channel, I'm a registered dietitian. I have experience in inpatient setting, outpatient setting, and right now I'm a freelance dietitian and I'm in private practice, okay? I'm passionate about public health and that's why you see me right here. So let's dive in together today, okay? We're going to discuss things or attributes you need to have for you to be a successful dietitian, okay? Let me know in the comment section where you're watching me from, and if you need any other information about becoming a dietitian, be sure to come and I will definitely, do the search and come back and then give you what I found. Thanks very much. Don't forget to subscribe and like my video before you leave. That is so key to me. The majority of these attributes are attributes that you need to have as a person for you to be able to become a successful dietitian. Alright, so we're going to start from the first one, which I think should be the first. And I'm actually just starting, I'm going to be talking about them in no particular order. So it doesn't mean that the first one that I take is the most important. No, I'm just taking them not in any particular order, okay? Number one, empathy. Empathy, you need to have empathy for people. You need to be able to appreciate what people are going through. You need to have pity for people. Because, let me say, all through your professional career or through your life as a dietitian, you're going to constantly be relating with people who have different conditions, okay? So you need to be able to relate with these people. You need to be able to understand with them. You need to be able to know that you are not supposed to judge people based on their condition because you do not really know what they've been through in life. So seeing you as a dietitian, you are actually supposed to help them to be able to go through what they are going through without judging them or without making jest of them, being able to empathize, and sometimes being able to put yourself in that person's position and treat them the way you would have loved to be treated. So you have got to have empathy. That's number one. Number two, you have got to be somebody who has communication skills. Okay, not just communication skills, effective communication skills. For example, you've got to be somebody that can listen. Listen attentively, not just hearing, listening, properly listening to this person talking. So that's what we call active listening. As you're listening, it's important that you're going to be able to make the person that is speaking know that you are actually listening. So you need to make the person feel that he's being heard. How we do that? Sometimes you have to probably give signs like nodding, okay, yes. And then you will have to be, at some point, paraphrasing. Just to make this person to understand that, yes, what you've said, I got it all. E.g., so you mean you saw your mommy coming, you walked towards her, and then when you were trying to do that with excitement, you fell, and that was how you broke your bone. So you're going to be able to, and the person will be like, yes, exactly that's what I meant. So this person is going to be more prone to, more inclined to want to give you more information because he or she is comfortable that you're listening to what he or she is saying. Not when someone is speaking to you and you're busy typing away, okay, yeah, So you are only just hearing that person, you're really not listening. Active listening is key. Then in terms of communication, not just about listening, that's just one of it. You've got to be somebody that knows how to explain things to people in the language that they will understand. You're not meant to be using technical jargons. You're not supposed to be using scientific terms and languages when you are speaking to people. You should be able to bring that complicated scientific nutritional information, bring it and break it down using everyday simple language. Let me give a quick example. For example, if you want to explain to a client or a patient about calories, they might never have heard that word before at all. And simply calories is what gives us energy. We get it from food, but they may not understand what you mean by that. You want to be able to use an everyday thing that they understand. You could say calories is just like the petrol that we put in the car to allow the car move. So when we eat food, our body extracts energy from it, which is just like petrol. That makes us to be able to move. So it becomes so easy for them to understand. So you've got to have good communication skills. You don't have to be born with communication skills. You've got to be ready to learn how to communicate with the people that you're communicating with. So a can-do attitude is very, very expected of you, okay? To be able to learn it. I'm talking about this because the whole of dietetics profession almost looks like it centers around communication. Being able to listen to people, speak to them in the language they understand, being able to paraphrase back to them and take the information they've given to you, make them understand that you've heard them properly. That communication is so key. Of course, it also extends to written communication as well. So when you're writing, for example, you're working in the hospital setting, let's say for example, and then you're taking information from a patient and documenting it in the patient note, you need to document it in such a way that the other personnel or the other medical team members are going to be able to read what you've written and be able to use it to treat the patient. Because the medical record does not belong to you, it belongs to the patient, and it is for the use of other medical team. Imagine if you have written something about the patient's, what the patient has eaten today, and you wrote it in a language they did not understand, and they're about to administer a particular medication. What if the food the patient has just eaten may interact with that medication? So you need to write it in a very clear way so that your other personnel members of the team will be able to understand. So keep in mind, you've got to have good communication skill. Okay, you can learn it if you do not already have it. It comes with the package anyway. So you've got to be somebody that knows how to communicate. I would say you have got to be somebody that loves people, who wants to talk to people. So if you already have the attributes of talking to people, then you are going to make a good dietitian. So if you are somebody who don't like talking to people, who don't like being with people, seeing people, let me tell you, you're going to always see people all through your profession. Number 3, analytical thinking. You have got to be somebody that knows how to think analytically. Okay, let me break that thing down. Someone who is able to listen to the patient speak, okay, and then think around what the patient has said. What has the patient said? Why might the patient have used this term? How is this particular topic making this patient feel? There must be a reason why the patient says, no, don't tell me anything about diet. No, I don't want to hear it. Then you have got to be somebody who would think, my patient must have had a bad experience about dieting before. And then you want to question more or query more and say, tell me about the methods you have tried in the past to lose weight. And then the patient is going to be able to open up and say, yeah, I've tried so many diets, they didn't work for me. And then you are going to be able to now probe further and be able to know where to help the patient. Okay, so you need to have analytical mind. Being able to analyze what the patient is saying helps you to be able to determine the reason why patients choose or make the kind of food choices they are making. It's going to help you to be able to know why the patient's eating habits is the way it is. It's going to help you a great deal. So don't be the type of person who just floats on the top and just listens to what the patient said and don't think about it. You need to think about what the patients have said. Why has the patient said that? What might have prompted the patient to say that? Is it that this patient has had an experience that is making the patient to speak this way? Then you want to probe that a bit further. So it's important. It's all about helping the patient to speak out whatever the patient has in mind. All this information you are going to need in assessing the patient's nutritional status or whatever you're doing for this patient is so key. Number 4. Is it number 4? Number 4. You need to be someone that loves science. You cannot run away from science. Okay, I realized that in the university, I saw the level of science that I did not expect to see. I'm just speaking from my point of view. I have always loved nutrition. I love people. I love food. I love science. But when I saw science in the university, at some point I said to myself, I didn't think that dietetics was going to be this scientific. So you need to be somebody who is either in love with science or is ready to learn science. And I mean, there's every reason why it's like that, because it has to do with the science of food. You've got to know the science behind food. What is contained inside of food, and that is science. How does that affect our bodies? That is science. How does our body even work? How is it even made? What is the makeup? How does our body react to the things we eat? How can we heal them, or how can we cause issues by eating in a specific way? How do they interact with the things we do? So all of this is science. You need to be able to be someone that loves science. You need to love science. Yes, if you don't like science, please do not approach dietetics, because you're going to encounter science. Yeah, I'm saying this way because yes, I found it this aspect of it a little bit challenging. I do love science, but when I saw science, yeah, you need to love science. Number 5, you have got to be someone who is ready to deal with people from different cultural backgrounds. Realize that your patient group isn't going to be from a particular cultural background, except you are probably working in an environment where you just have the same set of people or the same group of people. I doubt if it's ever going to be like that. Okay, so being able to be to be able to accept every culture, to be able to appreciate every culture, to be able to be ready, okay, to relate with everybody from different culture is something that you need to have, because you're going to be coming across patients that love eating in a specific way, in a way that is so different from what you've always known. Are you not going to treat these patients just because you are not used to the way they eat? So this is why it's so important that you learn to accept different cultures. So you have got to be a flexible person when it comes to culture. If you are stereotyped and you don't want to relate to certain people because of their culture, do not approach dietetics, okay? Because you are going to meet with people from different backgrounds, and you should be able to accept them based on their religion, based on their ethnicity, based on their the color of their skin, based on their orientations, based on their culture, and I mean health status, and different kinds of people. You have got to be ready to relate freely without being judgmental of anybody. This attribute is so important. So another attribute I want to talk about is patience. Patience, patience, patience. When working with clients or patients, I need you to understand that you need to be a patient person. You need to exercise patience. Why did I say that? Because when it comes to making changes to dietary habits, it can be difficult. Therefore, you have got to be able to wait, to allow patients or clients the time that they need to make that change. Remember, many of them or all of them have been used to a particular way of living before they came to meet you as a dietitian for a particular reason. So you do not expect that all of a sudden, just because they are seeing you as a dietitian, they're just going to drop what they know and just start to follow what you have both agreed. It doesn't work that way, trust me. It can be frustrating sometimes when you're working with patients and they don't seem to be making a change that you both agreed would help the patient, but you still need to understand that this patient is a human being and has been used to something all his or her life. Coming to you doesn't mean this patient just wants to change overnight. You have got to be a patient person. If you are not a patient person, you may not be able to become a successful dietitian. Patience is key. You should be able to have the attribute to solve problems. You're going to meet with patients, and every single day at work, you are going to probably meet with patients with diverse needs. A kind of need that you have not seen a patient have before, it will just present. So you have got to be somebody that's able to say, okay, what should I do? How can I navigate through this issue? So you should be able to come up with ideas that will help. It's still all going to be based on your dietetic experience and knowledge. Okay, so be ready to take on a new challenge every single day. That aspect of it is actually interesting if you ask me, because by the time you're done solving some problems, sometimes you're going to be so relieved knowing that, wow, a problem came along and I got it sorted. So it's so good for you to see that at the end of the day, you were a part of somebody's successful health outcome. That on its own is a great fulfillment as a dietitian. So be ready to solve new challenges. Yay! All right, so this one is so important, and it's something that I was normally not this type of person before, and this is being very organized. I was never that type of person that was really, really organized, but I had to learn it. Why did I say this? Because being organized is so key for you to be a successful dietitian. Remember, you're going to be managing different patients with different conditions. And so being able to keep record of their conditions and the dietary measures you are coming up for each patient is key. So you need to be someone that is organized. Being an organized person from the scratch would really actually help you, but if you are not, then you can learn it just like I did. I learned it, and now I don't have a problem with being organized anymore. Okay, and of course there are so many apps and so many systems that are available to enable you to be able to organize your work, whether you are working in the hospitals or you are working as a private dietitian. You're going to be able to deploy certain apps and platforms that are going to help you to be organized, because you need to be able to keep your patients' records in their appropriate places, and so you don't get them mixed up. And at any point in time, you're going to be able to know which patient we are talking about, what condition the patient has, what we agreed the last time, what point is this patient at, I need to follow up on my patient, what's happening, and all of that. Because you don't want to mess up records and then be in trouble. No, it's professional ethics. Professional ethics. Being able to keep your patients or your clients' information confidential. Very key. You've got to be professional when it comes to this. This aspect of it is so key. To be able to keep people's information confidential. You don't want to be discussing your client's information with everybody you see. You don't even have to go home and go discuss your patient's information with your husband or your wife. You have got to be careful, because these are people's information. If they trust you, that's why they're able to give you this information. Don't go about talking about people and discussing about people. Don't even go about discussing their information with their family members if you have not been given the go ahead to do so. Okay? This is so important. Think about this issue, you being in the person's shoes. You have just seen a professional and you've just been able to give information to the professional, and then the next day you understand that the professional's friend or colleague or family has your information. How would you feel? I'm sure you're not going to feel well. So don't do that. So you've got to be somebody that knows how to keep people's information confidential. It's not just about keeping people's information confidential. It also has to do with general professional ethics, okay? Your profession, there are professional ethics in dietetics. So being able to become a successful dietitian means that you've got to uphold your professional ethics in the way that it ought to. Yeah, be professional at all times. You need to be someone who is able to relate with other people freely. Interpersonal skills, I would say. Being able to relate with your fellow dietitians, relate with doctors in the hospital, relate with the pharmacists, relate with the occupational therapists, the speech and language therapists, the nurses, the healthcare assistants, everyone that is literally involved in the care of this patient. This is so important because you don't just work with a patient as a dietitian all by yourself. No, you don't. You all make use of the same patient's record. Okay, so you should be able to be, somebody that is approachable. If they think there's something they need to find out from you, if they have read your notes and they're not clear about it, you should be someone who is ready to provide more explanation to them, okay? And just think about this. If you're working with these people and you're not having a good interpersonal relationship with them, how are you going to get clarification if you do need one in your time of work? Remember, when you leave the house and go to work from morning till evening, these are the people you're going to be relating with at work. So you need to be in good relationship with them. It doesn't mean that they will never offend you or that you will never offend them. Do not take anything to heart. I would just say, speak out your mind, but be very professional about it all. Okay? And just be a team player. I would just use that thing. Just be a team player. Very good interpersonal skills is required. If you are the type of person who wants to keep malice with people just because you had issues with them and you don't want to speak to them again, and you say to them, no, I don't even want to speak to you again, how are you going to be working together? This is going to be so hard. And then as a private dietitian, like a dietitian in private practice, I do have my staff that we work together, okay? So if I'm the kind of person who doesn't have a good interpersonal skill, how can I relate with my staff? For example, they will just turn in late. How can I relate with them if I start to have bad feelings towards them? We need to relate with each other properly, okay? And interpersonal skills, yes. Working together as a team. Working together as a team, as a strong team. We are stronger together. So be someone that has interpersonal skills. If you don't, you will not be able to work successfully as a dietitian. Trust me. Alright, so we are going to talk about the next point, which is adaptability. How adaptable are you? Are you somebody who will just stay on what you already know and not be willing to change it? Then you can't be a successful dietitian. If you want to be a successful dietitian, you need to be someone that is ready to be adaptable. You're ready to change, because the field of nutrition is ever evolving and changing. There are new things evolving every single time. You have got to be ready to also change along as that is changing, because the new trends, new diets, new researches and findings are coming out every time. Make sure to be part of it as well. Nobody says just grab a new diet and start to apply it to a patient. No, it's not like that. But you need to know about it. If you don't know about it, your patient or your client is going to come and they're going to say to you, my neighbor is now using a new diet and she's losing weight and she's feeling better. I want to do that too. So as a dietitian, it will be your duty to be able to explain to your client or patient and say to them, yes, I know about this particular diet. However, this is how this diet works, this is how it works, this is how it works. Do we think it's something you can do? And you two have to look at it. Is science backing it up? Is it something that I should, allow my patient to go into? And you need to be able to explain to the patient the pros and cons of that diet pattern. So if you are not updating yourself, how are you going to be able to do that? And this is where the importance of continuous professional development comes in. CPD comes in here. So whereby you have to keep on updating yourself again and again and again so that you don't become obsolete. Okay, so be somebody who is adaptable. You need that quality. If you don't have it before, please go and learn it. You need to be adaptable. There's a very wonderful point that I want to talk about, and that is the ability to motivate people. You need to be someone who has motivational skills. Okay, I don't mean that you have to be a motivational speaker out there. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that you, number one, you don't have to force people to do things. If you're the kind of person who think people must do things your way, you need to change from that habit, because that habit or that attitude will not allow you to be a successful dietitian, because you cannot force plans or strategies on patients or clients. No, it will not work. This has to be what the patient wants, and your job is to be able to support the patient to achieve what they want to achieve. So you have to be someone who is able to use motivational skills to speak to people, to tell the patient how a particular dietary pattern or how a particular plan or strategy is going to help them to achieve what they want to achieve. So being able to speak to a patient using motivational skill is better than pressurizing them or instructing them or being the one to dish out, what I would say, push them. You don't push patients. You have got to be someone who can apply a motivational way of speaking to patients. Okay, so instead of saying to a patient, you have to eat 2 apples every single day, it would be better if you ask the patient, so if you wanted to, add something to your snack, or you wanted to make a change to your snack, for example, what kind of fruit do you think would be helpful in place of the biscuit you normally have? The patient will be the one to say to you, I think I would love an apple. You would? Okay, that's nice. How many apples do you think you can probably have in a day? This is how you're going to go about it. You can't just say, so you need to have 2 apples, because if you don't have 2 apples, actually, then you're not going to be getting enough fiber. Oh, and the patient is going to look at you and say, And when he leaves, he will not eat the apple. Okay, so you need to be someone that can speak to someone with a motivational attitude, not pressurizing. Does that make sense? I don't know if I'm using the right word, but the point I want to talk about now is, I think it's actually, obvious that you need to have passion for nutrition and health. Yeah, some people probably might not be this person, okay, who has real passion for nutrition and health. If you are that person, I doubt if you can make a successful dietitian. So it's important that you are somebody that has passion for nutrition and health. That passion is going to help you to want to be out there, to help people, to talk to people, to teach people, about the link between the food they eat and their health. That passion for nutrition is key. Passion for people to help is key. And passion for food, of course, is key. Passion for science is key. All of these ones put together is going to help you to become a successful dietitian. Now, does it mean that you have to have all these points that I've said before you can become a dietitian? Not really. You can learn so many of them along the way. As you go, you keep on learning. All right? But I must say to you, being a dietitian is so rewarding. It's a very, very rewarding profession. It's so rewarding. So rewarding. You know what it means to be a part of somebody's journey to a better health through eating is so rewarding. I could not have chosen a better profession. I love being a dietitian. I'm happy to be a dietitian. I don't know if you have subscribed to this channel. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do so. I remain your friend. Mercy is my name, and I am a registered dietitian with experience in inpatient setting, outpatient setting, and now I am a freelance dietitian in private practice. In case you want to see me for a personal consultation, how you want to do that is to access my information via my website. You can DM me, or you can go to our website and book for a consultation. We can literally consult for you irrespective of where you live, because we can do that on virtual platforms, okay, such as Zoom or Team, and we can and we can actually see you face to face if you live around us where we live. So you'll find all our information on our website. I really, really appreciate you taking time to watch this video today. Okay, it's really so important to me that you click the like button, subscribe to my channel, because I'm going to be covering lots of nutrition academy information. Like what will I say, I'm going to be covering different things on this channel, like teaching you about food, nutrients, wellness, and guess what, it's all going to be evidence-based. I'm not going to just pick some item from the internet and come here and speak. I'm going to be using evidence-based information to speak to you about food and health. Okay, and we also have our virtual platform events that we organize, where we teach people about weight management and diabetes self-management. If you're interested in any of this, then you want to visit our website and then book a place on the virtual events. It's been a pleasure speaking to you today. If you do decide to become a dietitian, let me know on the comment section below. And if you want me to say anything else about how to become a dietitian, I'm more than happy to do that. Thank you. Please subscribe before you go and share my video with those who need it. Bye. Bye bye. Bye 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 bye. And dietitians also have fun anyway. Bye 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 bye.